Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So I know I look a little bit different. In today's video we're going to be doing a Halloween kind of Day of the Dead skull makeup look. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. If you enjoyed this video then please hit the subscribe button, it's just down there, and the like button at the same time. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Okay, so first I'm just going to go in with some Pritt Stick, and I actually watched a video, I'll link it down below, it was really helpful, showing you how to properly glue down your eyebrows. You just have to rub it back and forth to make sure every single hair is covered, and you just brush the hairs up, and just honestly, you just need to make sure every single hair is covered, because it took me a few attempts to do this well. So just make sure you brush the hairs up and make sure they're all flat, and then just fan yourself to make sure it's really dry before you go in with the second layer. And just before that, I'm just cleaning up any glue that got onto my skin, just because foundation does not go well over the glue, trust me, I've been there. So yeah, just going to go in with the second layer, and I actually repeat this step, I think I did it about 3 times. So just literally pop it on, fan yourself, there you go, I'm signalling. The third time, just popping that on. Then I'm going to go in with some translucent powder. I'm pushing it into my face, just dusting it away. I'm just skipping through the skin because it's not very interesting, just popping on some foundation and set it down with some powder. And next I'm going in with this Krylon paint palette. It's actually grease based, I think it's like oil based or something. And what I'm actually I'm looking at a picture of a rose, and I stenciled it out a little bit just with a nude eyeliner pen, but I didn't record that part unfortunately. And I'm just skipping through this a little bit just because it did take me about half an hour. But honestly, you just need a picture of a rose in front of you on a screen, and literally I'm just keep on referencing back. I'm drawing like the tiniest lines at once, and it will look a little bit weird at first. Like when I first started drawing it, I thought it didn't look like a rose at all, but actually as you keep on going on and once the shading and everything's done, you will get there. Just be really persistent with it and don't give up, because it will look weird at first. But make sure you use white, just because you don't want to start off with a dark base. Next I'm going in with a black, I'm actually going in with a black face paint. I'll link all the products down below. And first I'm just kind of popping on where all the kind of darker areas are going to be in the shading. If I can, I'll reference the link to the photo that I was looking at. It's basically a girl with a rose on her head. So I'm just popping in the black paint kind of where I want the most coverage to be, and then what I'm doing is I'm kind of wiping away that original brush kind of on the back of my hand. Basically I have no product, and just before it all dries down I'm fading it in so it's kind of darker in one area and lighter in the other. Just make sure you don't have a lot of product on your brush, otherwise it's going to be a big black mess and it's not really going to look shaded. So yeah, that's just what I'm doing there. I mean, this isn't actually that hard. The rose definitely wasn't the hardest part of this look, but again, just be really persistent with it. Now I'm just going in with a skinnier brush, like a little pencil brush, and that's just to do the like more detailed bits because they're a little bit trickier to get to, using the exact same technique. And I'm just drawing the inside of the rose pretty dark because that's where it would be the darkest, because yeah, that's the center of the rose. So I'm just filling it in, shading it again, and then I'm kind of going over the areas that I originally put the dark down, and I'm just really building up that shading. And I'm going in with white as well, so just outlined it with white. Next we're moving on to the eyes. I'm just popping on a transition shade, just any light brown colour will do, bringing it up really nice and high where I've blocked my brows. I'm going in with black and red. I brought the red up pretty high just because I wanted to give that appearance of really big eyes. And now I'm going in with the silver paint that's in the Krylon palette, doing a little cut on my crease, and then I'm just setting that down with the silver eyeshadow. Nothing too exciting here, just wanted to pop on a little bit of eye makeup. And now I'm kind of sketching out where your eye bone would be, I don't know what it's called. I've got a reference picture and I just draw the shape that I want. And now I'm just going in with some, I think this is actually red blusher, so I just pop the red blusher around. I'm shading it black, so I've got a little bit of black face paint. Again, I'm not using a lot of product, that's just the main thing. I'm just shading it into the black. I skipped the other eye and just popped some lashes on because that wasn't very exciting. And I'm just popping on a red eyeliner on my waterline and going in with the 2000 collection Glam crystals on my eyes just to make them look a little bit more sparkly and interesting because they were looking a little bit flat. Now for the really exciting part, hard part. No, it's not really hard, but just again, I'm sketching out with that nude eyeliner. That's what I did my rose with, and just make sure you start off with nude because it's going to be a lot easier, and if you make a mistake you can just rub it away, which is what I did a couple of times. And then I'm going over it with a black face paint, and that's just going to really define the shape. If you mess up, honestly, don't worry, just rub it away with your hand. That's exactly what I'm doing there, just because I didn't like the shape of it. And next you're just going to fill in that whole area. So I'm just filling it in black, making sure you want to make sure the part by your ear is the darkest part, because that would be the darkest part if you were looking front on. And then as I get to the kind of closer to my mouth, I'm making sure there's less product on my brush, and I'm just like feathering it in really gently, as you can see. And honestly, I have barely any product. I actually went in with a little bit of eyeshadow as well, just to kind of help it all blend together. I use my fingers in a lot of this makeup, like I'm smudging it a lot with my fingers just because it gives you the most natural blend. That's kind of how I felt, and that's how I feel when I work with face paints. So next, moving on to the teeth, which are my least favourite part. Sorry, a motorbike's just gone past. But yeah, these are my least favourite part of this look, just because they are hard AF. But just go really gentle. Make sure you start off with a white, 100% start off with a white face paint. Literally just draw lines where your actual teeth are. That's just what I did. I'm just drawing lines up and down, and I have quite wrinkly lips, so I found this quite difficult, but you might find it easier. Now I'm just kind of smiling just to get rid of a couple of the wrinkles in my lips to make it a little bit easier for me. But with the teeth, sorry, I know my mirror is covering it a little bit. I got a little bit distracted. But yeah, just try your hardest to make them like, I just try and think of like upside down triangle, Hershey kiss kind of thing. I watched Desi's video and it actually really helped me. I'll link it down below because it's really helpful in drawing teeth. But the teeth are just the trickiest part. Just do the best you can. I mean, I think once you've got everything together, I don't think you can tell if a couple of teeth are a little bit off. But what I found kind of the most helpful is to draw almost like a little circle. You can see I've kind of drawn a circle there and then taper it down. I mean, yeah, I struggled a little bit with this, but it's fine. Just be persistent. If you mess up, it's white paint, so it's super easy to get rid of. I'm literally concentrating so much, it's really quite funny to watch back. Now, what I did with these back teeth is I started going quite jaggedy with them. I don't know why, I kind of preferred the slightly rougher look when it came to the teeth. I thought it looked a little bit better. So I really kind of spiked them up. And yeah, I much preferred it. So if I were to do this again, I would definitely do the more spiky look on the front because I just think it looks more realistic. And you can see I'm kind of curving it around, so I'm kind of curving it into that curve of the black, and then I'm smudging the white out. And yeah, I'm kind of smudging it into the black and curving it round just to make sure everything looks like it blends. And I know I look a little bit hilarious, but honestly, smudging it out with your fingers, oh, it's so much easier than smudging it out with anything else. So I would definitely recommend using your hands just because it really helped me. Also, it's quite important that the teeth on the kind of back of your jaw are slightly smaller, just because if you were front on, they would look slightly smaller because they're slightly further back. And next, I'm going in with black face paint. Again, I'm smudging it, but just try your hardest not to smudge it into the white, because I did do that a couple of times. But what I'm doing is I'm just making sure the black closest to the white is the darkest, if that makes sense, just to make sure the contrast really showed. So I'm kind of going around the edge of each white tooth and then smudging it out on my finger, and I found that this was like the easiest, most effective way to get that gradient and the shading to try and make it look as realistic as possible. I mean, there are probably better tutorials out there for teeth, so feel free to look them up, but this is just what I found easiest. I've only done them a couple of times, so yeah, I mean, feel free to look up another video, guys. And whilst I was editing this part, I did actually manage to cut out some footage, which really sucks, which I can't get back. So I basically just carried on filling out the black. I just deepened it. I added some white eyeshadow to the white just to set it down. It did dry, but I just wanted to make sure it wasn't going to move and merge into the black. And then the black I also set down with a black eyeshadow. I then just went around the darkest part with white just to try and add a little bit more shading, because I thought it looked a little bit flat. And then a tiny bit of brown eyeshadow on top of the white. but unfortunately it did cut out, so I couldn't show you guys that part. But to be honest, it wasn't that essential to this look, and I will put in the description box Crispy's skull where she shades it in. If you guys want to learn further how to shade skulls, definitely check out her video. But yeah, that's everything for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed watching this, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye. So this is the finished look. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video. I loved creating it for you guys, and I'm loving kind of making Halloween videos for you. If you're interested in any more Halloween videos, the subscribe button is right down there for you to press. I'll be uploading hopefully around 7 to 10 this October time. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.